knows why you're all here. He knows you're going to wait, hello Luke. And finally, last but not least, will you welcome please the reigning world match play champion, the reigning players champion as of last night. Last night you won £150,000. He is the reigning champion of the world, Luke Humphries. Hello, Luke. Hi, everybody. These two, literally last night, they played a final against each other. 90 grand difference in prizes. And now look at you, look like your mates.
Well, nothing.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. He's 17 years old, he's on 60 grand. He's all right. He's all right. He's all right. Thank you all so much for joining us. This documentary really is great. Luke, we will start with you. Anyone who knows about golf? You know what? You're quite right. We're going to start with the champ. Do you mind? Champ of what? People in darts knew your story, which is told very movingly actually on this documentary. They know that going into the World Championships last year, you were the favourite. You were thinking this is the culmination of a life's dream. You did it, but not only did you do it, by the way, that's not a spoiler, like in Titanic. You did it, but you did it in possibly the most high-profile World Darts Championship of all time. How did it feel to win, and how did it feel to win in such an incredible situation as that?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we didn't. When we first started the World Championships, this last year, you don't know like how it's going to end. You don't know. When we first started to where it ended, the sport was like 10 times bigger.
Yeah.
And obviously the emergence of the man sat next to me kind of helped that a lot. And little did I know when I made my first round game to the final that it was going to be viewed by 5 million people, which is the biggest sporting event on Sky Sports, except for football.
Yeah.
So it was a privilege to be a part of it, but even luckier that I won it.
Was there a point in the tournament where every tournament is hard and you're concentrating on your game, but there must have been a point in the tournament where you realised it had gone from the back pages to the front pages and suddenly something huge was happening?
Yeah, I did. I think it was more social media. You see a lot more buzz around it, and there was a lot of celebrities that were starting to take note and seeing what Luke was doing, and
which Luke?
Yeah, I think both. I know this man here. I think that they just was captivated by the story of how he was so young and was just being fearless. And I know he didn't win, but he showed such a fearless attitude throughout the whole tournament. And I was just happy that I got him, because you never know how long it's going to last. He's a fantastic talent, and he's a hard player to beat. But we're riding this crest of a wave at the moment, and yeah, it's good fun.
You're a harder player to beat. It turns out, just at the moment, now Luke, the very start of this documentary is you 3 weeks before this World Championship, where people in darts again knew who you were. You've been on the development tour, you had a few big results, but the British public were not aware of who you were. How were you feeling? So that you were throwing practice darts 3 weeks before your first ever World Championships. What was your expectation at that point as to how this was going to go?
I can't really remember.
Well, I have good news for you. We've got a massive documentary.
I just remember people wanting to film me on a train down to the World Championship.
What we forget, this was like a year ago now. This is in darting terms. We're away all the time, so it's.
But also in Littler terms, that's the 17th of his life. But were you thinking you'd go out there, get a bit of experience, hopefully win a game, and then see what it's like, and then return the next year and give it a real go? Or did you think you had a genuine chance in this championship?
I just wanted to win the first game, and then I said, win the next game, come back after Christmas, and then go and price Gary Anderson. They dropped out of the little section I was in, so I was like, I've got a chance to it. It didn't go to plan, but I'll say the winner.
Yeah, I think so, especially the year you've had as well. Congratulations. It was genuinely an amazing bit of sporting drama, and for all of us, you entertained us so mightily. Now, Emma, you were there, you're hosting this dance. Dance, even without these guys, is such an extraordinary spectacle. The atmosphere is extraordinary as well. What is it like, if for people here who haven't been to Ali Pali or any of the other big tournaments, what is it like to be in the middle of that crowd, especially presenting a live television show?
Yeah, I kind of often compare it to a major sporting event meets a stag do in Prague. That's kind of what it feels like. Not that I've ever been on a stag do in Prague. But yeah, it's unique. We go to some huge venues with darts. You know, on the Premier League, the finals this year at the O2, there were 14,000 people there. But there's something about Ali Pali at the World Championship. Everyone feels so close to you, and yeah, we're so lucky that we've got probably, you know, the best seat in the house, sitting kind of it's almost like you're in a dream, because you're kind of in this bubble, just kind of overseeing everything, and watching everything unfold in front of you. And yeah, this year it turned out to be one of the most incredible sporting stories ever.
An amazing thing to be in the middle of. Now, Mel, as the producer of this, listen, I've sold a lot of shows in my time, a lot of observational documentaries, and you're halfway through and think nothing's happened. you had the opposite thing here. Can you just tell us a bit about how you managed to sell this to Sky? What was it about darts you thought they would like, and how easy was it to sell?
So I think that we were hooked, and we hope that everyone will feel the same. So the minute that Julia, who's the founder of Dorothy Street, met with Barry in Blackpool.
Barry Hearn.
Yeah.
Listen, you never forget your first meeting with Barry Hearn.
She was hooked, and the minute I joined, I was too. And I think you will see when you watch, I hope you will see when you watch, that you open a door into a world and you never want to leave. If you don't know darts, I think I would challenge everyone to feel differently after they've watched this show. The players, the place, and the juxtaposition of Ali Pali with the concentration and the incredible skills of the best players in the world. It's truly unique. So yeah, I don't think it was that hard to sell in the end, because I think once you get the bug.
Yes, I couldn't believe no one sold it before. It's such a thing that you have the tension of sports. Darts has got the best format of any sport in the world. I don't want to be geek about it, but it does. Plus characters you don't see in other sports as well, and it really comes across on screen. But you must have thought halfway through this tournament, oh my God, we might just about have the greatest documentary of all time, when you saw the two Lukes sort of coming at each other.
Yeah, it's quite hard to predict in a knockout tournament who to follow, what to follow, when to follow it, and I can't take any credit for that. Our team did an amazing job, but also what an incredible piece of sport, and what an incredible entertainment show that these guys put on. So yeah, we were super lucky.
So Luke H, champ. As you said, I think when people watch this it will. I think it will increase the people who are interested in the darts, and you know they'll be obsessed about watching this year's World Championship. What can we expect in this year's? Because the last year's World Championship, we know what was happening, which is you had to get a monkey off your back. You thought, can this finally be my thing? Luke is like, listen, I'm just going to tell them and see if I can win a game. This World Championship, the two of you are now going to star in this documentary. You're going up to Ali Pali. I think you're due to meet in the semi-final this time rather than the final. But a very, very different thing this year. How are you two approaching this year's World Championships?
Yeah, I mean, probably would have taken a lot of good experience from this year that we've gained. Obviously, I've won 2 big major tournaments since the Worlds and the World Cup. Luke's won 3 himself. So the last year, of course, Luke won a bout, and it was just about me at the back end. I was pretty much winning everything, and no one really expected anybody to challenge me in the World Championships. And then obviously the moments of Luke coming around, and then he's had a great year, I've had a great year. And you know, the best sports in the world have a rivalry. You know, we have an amicable one where we get on along really well, but we have a mutual respect, and we enjoy playing each other. We bring out the best in each other. So yeah, you know, I think this is really what the sport of darts needed. You know, maybe a new generation to come through, and 2 players, you know, sort of at a youngish age, and you know, I think this is what the documentary will show. And you know, you're used to most sports when you watch documentaries. You've seen global superstars. We're not quite there yet. You know, this is all relatively
Not yet.
Not yet, but you know, most of the documentaries you see are in, you know, say footballers are in £5 million houses. Yeah. You're not going to see that with us. You know, we're in a lot less, you know, not so big houses, but you know, this is real life, and I think you'll see our backstories and the things we've had to overcome to get to where we are. And yeah, I think that's what makes darts special, is that it's not a straightforward journey, and you know, you're not kitted out with loads of money straight away. You have to work hard to achieve everything that you've got.
Although watching the documentary, one of the main things I thought, Mel, is No, James Wade's got a nice house. Can I tell you something you said the other day that I absolutely loved? It's very what you said, Luke. It's just like you said. The thing about Luke is he makes me want to turn my 140s into 180s. And that's what rivalry is all about, isn't it? Is you're the best in the world, but you need to get better. Luke, you seem to play without pressure last year. This year, obviously everyone knows your name. Does it affect you? Is that going to affect you when you stand on the oppie? Or is that not the way that your mind works?
Obviously I want to lift the trophy, but the pressures and obviously being favourite for the world, it doesn't really get to me. I just play my game.
God, do you remember being 17, everybody? Yeah, so the two of you are like big favourites. Even Michael Van Cohen is 10 to 1, because you two are such big favourites. But in your head, do you think at some point you're going to have to play Luke here in the next one?
We'll always, like we both said, we both got to get to the semi-final first. But obviously I know Michael's probably rubbing his hands on the other side of the draw, as anyone else would. But if we meet, then it is to be.
Well, that's the thing, Emma, isn't it? Is the beauty of sport. So great sport is soap opera. That's the thing that these documentaries, whether it's Drive to Survive or what's a lot of the American documentaries, we know what top class sport is and we can see the pressure these guys are under. But when you really get behind the skin, it is soap opera. But it's soap opera that is completely unscripted. So although it looks in retrospect like it was inevitable these two were facing in the final, it could have gone wrong so many times. Did it been inevitable to you that these two tankers were going to collide?
Certainly not at the start, no. You said earlier, people sort of in darts knew about Luke Littler. We were presenting the draw for the World Championship earlier, and I was having a little look back at last year's draw, and when did actually speak about Luke Littler in the draw last year?
I know the game.
Come on now.
Come on.
He's a big star of the doc as well, isn't he, Wayne?
He's a star of the show. So inside darts we knew about Luke Littler, but we didn't know what he was going to be able to produce. You barely stepped on a big TV stage before, let alone the World Championship stage. So, then the matches just, sort of came and went. The wins came and went as well. Christian Kisters kicked things off. There were always kind of little stages.
I was going to say, I still remember everyone being shocked that you beat Andrew Gilding.
Gilding, right? So Gilding was the next one. Gilding was the sort of first big seed. Barney, playing his idol, and he just kind of sorts him aside.
They always say they're playing their idol. They never quite believe it.
No.
Do you know what? I grew up watching that guy. You said that in that last round. You said you grew up watching Christian Kiss.
But yeah, it got to a stage, I think maybe after the Barney win, I suppose. Brendan Dolan, who'd been taking out, Price, Anderson, taking out all these kind of big names, heavy hitters. I think some people thought maybe that was going to be the sort of banana skin for Luke Littler, but then you sort of Rob Cross aside as well, former world champ, former world match play champ.
That's a hell of a win. That's when I took him seriously.
Yeah.
I just let him play darts. Now, Mel, from a production point of view, of course, the fact that sport is so unscripted and you never know what's going to happen. Now, we see there's lots of really interesting smaller stories in this documentary. People like Bab Patel, he was essentially a chemist in London, he qualified through the Indian qualifiers. You must have had to follow an awful lot of people because an awful lot of people were getting knocked out at any given time. How did that process work?
Yeah, there was a very big board in the room at the back of Ali Pali with lots of crossings out and lots of running around chasing stories. But truthfully, the team had spent a lot of time working out who might play who was coming from where. We also wanted to really show that it's a global event too, so people coming from everywhere, and just really dig into the stories behind the headlines. So we really trusted in the stories of the players as well as what was going on at Ali Pali, and I hope that comes through in the doc, so that whoever won, the stories are what shines through, because these guys are so interesting, articulate, funny, moving, and the team and I just really wanted those voices to be heard, no matter what happened on the open.
Can I ask a really nerdy question? The very first thing we watch is Stowe Bunce, he's very kind of larger than life American player, and I'm thinking you're definitely following him because you want Americans to watch this, and then he got knocked out in the first round. But have you been filming with him?
Yeah, there was But yeah, they knew that the winner of the first game was going to play Michael Smith. So that's another unique and brilliant thing about the World Championship, is that the winner of the very first match gets to play the reigning champion on the same night.
Well, look, let's watch it, shall we? It's a brilliant documentary, so congratulations. Emma, your role through it is so brilliant, because not only you bring us the atmosphere, but you do that thing that every documentary producer needs. Could you explain this to people who don't know, which you do so concisely, as you'll see, you just go, oh, okay, I get it now. But Jen, it's a great documentary, it's only as great as its participants. Luke, just you burst onto the scene, it's so lovely to have this captured, it'll be there forever and ever, which is amazing. And Luke, after the couple of years you've been through, which they talk about, to get on there, to do it, to win it, which again we see is amazing. You say, my favourite line of the whole documentary is, you say, everyone was following Luke's story, but I have my own story to tell. And that story is the story of this documentary. Everybody enjoy it, please. Thank you so much.